Hi, welcome to Clarity Tarot. I'm so happy to be back. We are doing a pick a card reading today, which will be your spiritual gifts. We have 5 piles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you check the description box, you will see timestamps for each of the readings, and I will see you there. And thank you to Crystal today, who put a comment on the last time I did this reading, which was more than a year ago, maybe even more like 2 years ago, that I did this same topic. And she said, I miss your readings. And I got the notification for that. It came through today. And I thought, maybe I'm ready to get back into doing some readings. So here we are. We're going to see how it goes. And thank you for watching. I will see you at your reading. Hey, pile 1, if you picked this earring, it's one of those, what do we even call these? I'm not sure, but it's like goes through both sides of your ear. This will be your pile. Okay. From the Enneagram cards, we have I Feel Stuck When. Then we have Death, Rebirth. The World in Reverse. The Tower. Ooh. You could be a Scorpio or an Aries or a Sagittarius. And let's see. Well, we have 3 major arcana here, don't we? So with the I Feel Stuck When, with the blank, I'm kind of getting that you never get stuck, pile 1. With the World card in reverse, it's like you don't let things end for you. Maybe you're the first to leave a bad situation when you see the writing on the wall, when you know that tower is about to fall. And you transform yourself. I mean, I love this Death card because of the imagery on the inside here with the trees and kind of like the burst of light. It's very hopeful and full of possibilities to me. And I think that's how you tend to see change. So what are your spiritual gifts? You're a change maker. You're willing to transform. You're willing to let the old fall away. You don't cling to something when you know it's on the way out, even as afraid as you might be. And people might misunderstand this about you. Maybe at times you're accused of being flighty or impulsive, not committed to things, or whatever the case people might say that they think is going on with you. But the truth is, like, when something no longer has the resonance of truth in it. You know when it's no longer growing, when it's shrinking or dying. And what other people don't see is that it's not like you make a change at the first sign of that. You actually wait quite a while until you're sure that the situation isn't going to right itself. So what do I mean by that? Maybe you have an inkling or you see a red flag and you think, I think this is going to go down in flames, but you're not out the door until you see that fire has started. Whereas most people wouldn't leave until the fire was like a raging inferno. When you see that the fire is actually lit, that's when you go. Not when you see somebody walking into the house with kerosene and a lighter, not when they sit down to actually think about lighting it and like put everything on the floor. I'm not sure why I'm using this example, but like you don't make that move until the point of no return. So I think that's something that people misunderstand about you. But this is a gift because you truly don't get stuck. And I can almost hear you in my mind saying like, but I feel stuck all the time, or I feel stagnant. And that's actually part of this gift because you have such a heightened sensitivity to it. What feels like stuckness to you is like a level 1 out of 10, whereas other people don't start to notice it until it's a 5 or a 6 or a 7. But again, just because you notice it and it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean that you get out yet. You take your time to be able to do that. So Let's see. I want to get another deck, and which deck do I want to use here? Actually, I'm going to use the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And I'm going to ask Spirit, what did I miss here, or what else wants to be said about pile 1 and their spiritual gifts? So for pile 1 and their spiritual gifts, okay, we have one jumping out here, and it is Against the Grain, and there's a very naked lady on this card. Let's see, how am I going to cover this up? We'll do that. Okay, Against the Grain, number 4. So with this Against the Grain card, I mean, it really is kind of how it sounds. It's saying that your gift is to not conform, to be an individual, to be unique. And actually, I think that makes sense with this earring even. You know, people I know that wear these kinds of earrings, usually they're a little bit offbeat, maybe a little bit grunge, maybe a little bit hippie, maybe somebody I would see at Burning Man. Even though I guess Burning Man's not really that, like, I don't know, unique or out there anymore, but it's I think you get what I'm saying, pile 1. It's the same message of the Tower. Like you're willing to go your own way, to express yourself, to not get caught up in who others think that you should be or how things should be done. So if you start a new job and within 10 days you realize this is not it, it's not for me, like you don't feel like you need to stay there for a year or two just because you started or you want it to be on your resume. Like you take off. If there's something that others expect of you, it can almost be guaranteed that you're not going to go exactly that way. This actually reminds me of, what's it called? Is it Mars in Aquarius? So it's a placement in your chart. And I only know this because I personally have this. But so Mars is like your agency, your will, your masculine energy, like your how you move in the world, your aggression, your action taking. And Aquarius, when Mars is in Aquarius, since Aquarius is like offbeat and unique, it's almost like if everyone expects you to turn right, you turn left. And sometimes it surprises even you. If it's kind of confused you at times, your own choices or the ways that your life has unfolded, you might want to look this up. So I think if you just Google Mars and Aquarius, there's all kinds of videos and articles that might be interesting to you about this dynamic. But I think what this card is saying is that you're not doing it just to be different or to try to put on this individuality or being unique. Like, no, it is who you are. It is part of your gift. It is truly a gift. It's not something that if anyone has ever accused you of like, oh, you just have to be different, or you're always trying to do things not like everybody else, like, no, it's very sincere in you. You're just being yourself. And the more your outer reality matches your inner reality, the better for everyone, and it is a gift for you. So I think that's your message. I'm just thinking, do I want to do any advice? No, actually, I don't think I want to do advice today. I'm going to leave that message to stand on its own. So I hope you enjoyed it, Pile 1. Leave me a like, comment, or subscribe if you did. Let me know what you thought. And I hope to see you in a future reading. If there's a particular topic you're interested in, I am especially open to suggestion right now, so feel free to put it in the comments. Thank you so much. Hi, Pile 2. If you picked this earring, this will be your reading. Let's see what cards you have. All right, we've got... Actually, you know what? I need to pause this real quick because it's like jiggling and it's bothering me. Okay, I hope that's going to be better, but I guess we'll see. And if you've watched me for a while, you know that anything that happens in the reading is the reading. So I'm wondering if part of your gifts are organization, consistency, like detail orientation, because that is not normally a thing that I would try to fix right there. But let's see your cards. We have 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands in the reverse, the Devil, 8 of Wands, And from the Enneagram deck, we have challenge your inner voice when it tells you you are not enough. Pick apart any false beliefs and replace them with kind truths. So your spiritual gift is transformation of your self-concept and your relationship with yourself. This reminds me a lot about the inner critic, which is a concept that we often associate with Enneagram type 1, although it could be any type. You don't have to be a type 1 to have a strong inner critic. But for type 1s, it's almost like it's hard for them to see themselves as separate from their inner voice. So what I mean by that is like, if I'm telling myself I'm not good enough, I need to try harder, I need to do a better job, I need to be more perfect, that feels like me. It doesn't feel like a voice talking to me if I'm a type 1. And I think you have something similar going on here, and I'll tell you how this is a gift, pile 2, because I can already hear you being like, don't tell me what's wrong with me, tell me what my gift is, that's the topic. And yes, I'm getting there. So because you've had such an intense inner critic in your life and almost like this bully inside your mind who's been telling you everything that's wrong with you, every way you need to be better, every way you need to improve, you have, it's almost like you've learned and grown and have had all the lessons you've needed around how to be your own caretaker, your own best friend, your own healer, the person in your life that has your own back. And now I'm thinking of Enneagram type 6, which is the loyalist, somebody that's always wanting to give their loyalty to others, but only over time do they realize like, oh, the person I actually need the loyalty from is myself. Like, I'm the one that's not on my own team. I'm the one that puts myself in these compromising situations where I'm giving my loyalty and my trust and my time and my effort away to other people. You have felt the pain of that, pile 2. You know what it's like to be divided against yourself and not be your own best friend, not be on your team, maybe to have had like mental health struggles that have come up because of that. And so you will never again be in that situation. Because of that, you are very strong in this area. You're very mentally strong. You may even be a head type if you're not a type 1. You must know the Enneagram because I keep coming up with like an Enneagram example. So let me know in the comments if you do know your Enneagram type. But it's like your sense of self and your mentality is ironclad at this point. And I think it's because maybe you used to take in a lot of outside feedback from others, like the way that they viewed you or how they thought about you, you would really take into account and almost like integrate into your sense of self, whether or not it was true. You would kind of live into those almost like prophecies about yourself. And because you see those as so powerful, you no longer allow that. You see yourself as like the writer of your own destiny. Like, I'm the one that it's only me and God that get to decide who I am and what I'm about. And so that's the way that you function now. You may even find yourself being kind of like resistant to outside feedback. Like, for example, if you have a job where you have a performance review and let's say your boss says, well, you did this, and this well this year, and this was not so great. I could almost see you being in that meeting and being like, you have nothing to say to me. Like, none of this is correct. Like, I know how I did. I know what's true. I don't need your feedback. And while some people might see it as like excessive or almost like egotistical in a way, it's truly not. Like, it's you having this really clear point of view on what's true about yourself, and you've fought for it. You fought for it tooth and nail with every year of your life, pile 2. So it's a gift for you because at this point in your life, like, you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what's important to you, and no one else is going to tell you otherwise. So that's true, but also you know how to help others with the same thing. So you're able to easily spot, how would we say this, like a gap in someone's psyche or their mental armor, where maybe they're being poisoned by the opinion of someone else, you're able to really help illuminate that for them so that they can change it. And just generally, like your relationship with your inner critic, or relationship with how your self-talk and how you are with yourself, it's something very natural for you at this point to help others look at. And because of that, it's like, I think you had many years in your life where things just kind of moved slowly, perhaps, or it felt like you were slogging uphill and never getting anywhere. And I'm here to tell you those days are over, pile 2. I think you know that already, but we have the 8 of Wands here after 5 of Wands in reverse and the Devil. And it's like once you were not divided against yourself mentally, everything just opened up for you. It's like life and God rolled out the red carpet and said, oh, pile 2, I'm so glad that you've arrived. Here, have everything that you've ever wanted in your life. And you just kind of went from there. And I think life has felt a lot easier for you. And because of that, you really want others to have that same freedom that you've experienced. So let's continue on with your reading. I want to pull a message for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. So, we have, there's like 4 jumping out. I'm going to wait and see if we get something else for you. So for pile 4, can I have 1 card, please? What else is important for them to know about their spiritual gifts? Pile 4. 2 of those 4 cards just tried to jump out again, but they didn't fully do it. I'm trusting that that will be the message that comes out, if it's really what's wanting to be heard today. So for pile 2, okay. We do have 2 cards. We have Bring It Into Form, number 41. Oh, and it is that card. Oh, that's so interesting. And then Diving for Light, number 11. Well, I think that's pretty amazing that this card tried to come out a total of 3 times in this whole deck. And so it's a really important message for you, I think. I actually want to start with this one, though, Bring It Into Form. So this is just the way it sounds, Bring It Into Form. So if you've had an idea, let's say it's a book, a painting, a song, a YouTube channel, a relationship, I don't know, a new job, this could be a birth, anything new that you're wanting to bring into existence. This card is saying, yes, don't think about it, just do it. And I think what's important about that message for you, like, it's easy to get caught up into, like, well, will it be successful? Is it the right time? Is it the right thing? And actually none of that matters with this card. It's like, whatever the result will be of this particular thing, let's say it's a book. Even if this book is a total flop, it's going to be the stepping stone that you need for the next thing. So it's an essential part of your process. So it's not really about evaluating, is it the right thing? It's only about, okay, do I know that this is being asked of me to be birthed? Yes. Okay, I'm going to do it. I have to do it. And so that's what this card is saying. With Diving for Light, this is a very interesting card for me. And actually, so each of these cards has like a description and then like an exercise or prayer associated with them. And I'm actually going to read yours for this one to close the reading. I mean, number 1, because this card tried to come out 3 times. So I think it's very, very important that specifically, you know, what's written about this card comes through. And also, I get the sense that it's going to be especially poignant for you right now at your time of life. I even have the sense, perhaps, that recording this entire video is just for you, pile 2, and for what I'm about to read you from that book. I get that sense sometimes. I guess I've had that maybe 2 or 3 times ever with the videos I've uploaded. But it's like, I'll do an entire video, but there'll be one particular moment in a particular pile where I'm like, oh, this is why this needed to happen, and it's why it needed to happen today, and with this particular card or this particular message. And I really have that sense for you, pile 2. So if that's you listening, then just know that you are so loved, so appreciated by whoever you pray to, whether you call that, God, universe. And it was just very important for this message to get to you today. So the only other thing I want to say about this card before we do that reading is that it's about light and shadow, actually. So it's about shadow work would be a way to talk about that. It's about clinging to the light, but also being willing to go into the depths. And if there's an area, that's been feeling overwhelming to you, or maybe you've had a lot of fear or anger that's been coming up, that would all also be associated with this card. It's like, kind of comes with the territory. If you are a light bringer, but someone who's willing to go into darker places, when you go to that next level down, that next level deeper, it just brings up all that gunk. And it's like, I think you know this, pile 2. I think you've done a lot of work in the dark. I mean, we got the devil here and the 5 of Wands. So you're no stranger to this, but there's another layer that you haven't yet touched and that you're being invited into. That can be terrifying. So use all your tools, everything that you know, everything that you've learned of how to deal with when you feel overwhelmed, when it starts to feel like your mental state or your mental health is turning against you, and be willing to transform that next level. So I'm going to read for you this healing process, is what it's called. And I'm actually just going to read the first part of it, the prayer, and let that be your reading. So say this aloud, whether it makes sense to you or not. I call upon the presence of unconditional love. Be here now without restraint. Fill me and fill this space. Touch all beings with your grace. I feel the presence of unconditional love within me. I acknowledge the presence of unconditional love all around me. I am the presence of unconditional love, and in this love, no fear can remain. May unconditional love guide any fear back to the light of love or back into the earth as serves the greatest good. My body, mind, heart, and soul are now completely bathed and protected by unconditional love. Through my own free will, this is so. Repeat morning and night for at least 3 days and continue for as long as you wish and feels good for you. Okay, pile 2, this was your reading about your spiritual gifts. I hope it resonated for you. I'm sending you a big hug if you're going through a dark time right now. I know that is not easy, but I hope this message has been helpful or clarifying, and I hope to see you in another reading. Feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know about your experience if you'd like to share. And feel free to request a particular topic for a reading. I'm feeling very impressionable right now, and I hope to see you next time. Hi, pile 3. If you picked this earring, this will be your reading. And why are we all fuzzy right now? I'm hoping this is going to focus. I'm not sure what's going on with the camera, but we're just going to go with it for the moment, and hopefully it fixes itself. Let's see what cards you have here. We've got the Page of Cups. We have King of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Nine of Cups. That's coming up in the reverse. And let's see, with this, from the Enneagram deck, we have, when do you notice yourself withdrawing or retreating from others? So your spiritual gifts, pile 3. You have a very rich inner world, don't you? So with the 2 pages here, pages for me are the energy of children. And I don't mean childish, I mean childlike. So by that, what I'm trying to convey is like there's this real openness, lack of defensiveness towards the world, towards new ideas, towards possibilities. And we have Cups and Wands, which is emotion and fire. So those two elements. Um, Cups as emotion, that's like your feelings, your emotional energy body. And then wands is, I guess it's like your impulse, your instinct. I also think of this as the main place where your spiritual energy lives in the body. That's how I think of wands, or fire energy. Almost like the breath of God, the breath of spirit. So to have these two in a very like childlike energy, I think what your gift is that it's like you're willing to be open and undefended, open-handed, open-hearted towards life and towards the movement of God in your life in a way that many other people aren't. I think with the Nine of Cups in reverse, many of the dreams that you've had for your life have not come true. Perhaps you had a lot of ideas of what you thought your life would be like, and it didn't exactly turn out that way. But through the lessons and experiences you've had, I think generally what you've realized is that your dreams were too small. I'm actually thinking of a C.S. Lewis quote. Wow, has it been a while since I thought of this? Let's see if I can do it justice. So the quote goes something like this. We are far too easily pleased. We're like children playing with mud pies because we cannot imagine what is meant by a holiday at the sea. And I think in some way you would relate to that, pile 3, in that perhaps you didn't have the imagination for some of the things that have been coming into your life recently. And I think that this has come at great personal cost to you. I think a lot of your prior things that you've been working towards or built up have maybe been wiped out to one degree or another. And this could be major. I'm thinking things like, financial ruin is the word that's coming to mind. Ouch. This could be like grief, death, divorce, loss of custody of children, loss of a business, being fired or unemployed, being excommunicated from a spiritual community, like whatever it's been for you, pile 3, it's been major. And I can almost hear you saying, oh, well, it's just my kids moved away from home, or it's just that I didn't get that promotion at work. But whatever it is you're about to say to me, even in your mind, pile 3, you know that you are minimizing and that this was totally catastrophic when it happened for you. So, yeah, so there's that. But we're talking about your spiritual gifts. So your spiritual gifts are that despite what you've experienced, you still dream, you still hope, you still approach the life with a sense of open-heartedness and wonder and belief that there really is a positive future out there for you. And from your life experiences, that would be a very difficult thing to hold on to. And maybe even for you at this moment, maybe you're even at this reading and you're like, I don't know if I have it in me to believe. Maybe you've had something discouraging happen recently or very recently. But even if so, there's that part of you, there's that spark, there's that page of wands that is still just so willing to say, like, God, I trust you. My life is in your hands. I don't want to be in charge. I surrender to your will. I trust that you know what's best for me and that it's not going to be me. I don't know if you're an 80s or a 90s child. If so, I'm hearing the recommendation in my mind that you watch Bruce Almighty, which really, to me, this movie, it's silly. It's a Jim Carrey movie, but it's about surrender to a power greater than yourself, release of your expectation that you either need to have a plan for your life or that having that plan would make even any difference. And I think that's something that it's a little different for you than the other two piles. It's like, this is a gift that's coming online. Maybe you've really expected yourself, like, to have a strategy, to have a foolproof approach to have the best life for yourself. And what you're learning right now and the gift that you're having access to soon, like in the very near future. When I say near future, to me, that's like 6 months to 18 months. So that's considered like near future. But the gift that's coming online is the release of needing to have a plan, the release of having to know everything, the willingness to be a fool, to be a holy fool, to be like, whatever. I trust that I'm in the right frame of mind and I'm in the right posture. Like things between me and God are good. Between me and myself are good. My conscience is clear and the results be damned. I just know that even though it looks like I might be stepping off a cliff, that I'm in the right space, the right energy body, the right headspace for all of this to thrive. What's that? This is funny because I just rewatched this other video that I did today on your spiritual gifts a year or two ago. And I made reference to this sales technique for entrepreneurs, which was basically about like, you don't want to try to sell somebody on your services or try to make a certain volume of sales happen. What you want to do is tend to the environment. Like, am I creating an environment where sales can thrive? Am I setting the stage for my success? Am I making it as possible as it can be for this to be like a welcome environment for sales to happen? And I think that this is something that I don't know if you would probably describe it that way. Maybe you even have your own idea about the best approach to sales. You are the King of Pentacles after all, which I'm going to get to in a minute because there's a lot to say about this card, especially this guy right here. But you may have your own things to say about like a sales approach, but the whole point is like you've mastered the knowledge and the wisdom that it's not about like making something happen or creating an achievement. Sometimes it's about setting the environment for something to thrive on its own and like come into its own fullness. So maybe even your own like leadership style or the way that you go about relationships or achievements in your life could also be with this approach to just not like make something happen, but almost like create a cozy nest for it to happen on its own. It's a very nurturing, it's a very feminine energy approach, despite us having like the king here. So there's more to say about that. Okay, let's talk about the King of Pentacles. This is you, by the way. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe you look like this a little bit. Do you have long, flowing gray hair and a beard? If not, could be a great look for you. But I think this could be described as like your happy place. Like, look at this. There's this guy. He's alone. What is he sitting in? This is like, I don't know, some kind of weird chair. It's kind of puffy. A puffy chair? I don't know. There's all these bookcases behind him. Look on his face as he's just looking at this pentacle, which a pentacle is something grounded in the material world. It could be money, it could be a new project, it could be a business, it could be some kind of portfolio. But whatever it is, it's something real and tangible, like something that I did with my blood, sweat, and tears that day kind of idea. He's all relaxed, he's in his comfy clothes, and he's got his true companion here next to him, his dog. So how is this a spiritual gift? You are truly, like, whatever your gender, I would say that you're kind of like a man's man in the sense that, like, you would be happiest at home with a fire burning, reading a book with a dog next to you. The day's work is over. You got a shower because you got really sweaty doing whatever you had to do for your work. And now you get to just enjoy the afterglow of a job well done. Yeah, sorry, that just sounds really nice. I lost myself for a second there. So how this is a spiritual gift, like I think most people would think of that as spiritual, and especially like pentacles in general, which is very earthy, earth sign. So you could even be an earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But it's like people wouldn't normally think of that as spiritual, but I think it absolutely is. It's actually reminding me of a line, again, from Bruce Almighty. You might really have to go watch Bruce Almighty. And the line is something like, it's Morgan Freeman. So Morgan Freeman plays God in the movie. And he says something like, some of the happiest people on earth go home stinking to high heaven at the end of the day, something like this. And he was making the point that working with your hands is just a really healthy, positive, spiritual thing to do. And I think you know this. I don't know if you talk about this, but I think inside yourself, you know this to be true. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to draw a card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Oh, what's happening again to this camera? It's bothering me. I feel like this maybe fixed it before. Yes? No? Okay, yes, there we go. Maybe, so anything that happens in a reading is the reading. If you've been watching my channel, you know this. So because I'm having this like focus issue coming in and out with this video, that just makes me think of focus and attention problems. So that could be even just that maybe you're very analytical and sometimes you miss the forest for the trees. Maybe you have attention deficit or hyperactivity. Maybe you what's the opposite of missing the forest for the trees? I guess get so focused on the big picture that you miss details. But whatever the case, maybe there's something about like hyperfixation for you that really serves you. It's like, it's really a strength in your life. It's a spiritual gift. You could even think of it that way, but also it creates some issues for you. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So I think that's just coming through as one of those like little confirmations that this is your reading and it is for you if you're watching and you resonate with that. Okay, so card for pile 3 from the Sacred Rebels Oracle, please. Let's go with one. One card would be awesome. And as I'm waiting for this card to flop out, I'm realizing I didn't say anything about this card. When do you notice yourself withdrawing or retreating from others? So this is a reading about a spiritual gift. So I think there's something really important that happens for you when you withdraw. Maybe you get a lot of like criticism from other people about this. People are like, you keep disappearing, or, you know, why don't you just talk? But like, there's something really important and transformative that happens for you when you withdraw. It's not like you're just in a total avoidant energy. You're actually with yourself in a deeper way than you are at any other time. And because you're so open and available to yourself, you're also open and available to God in a new way. So if that's true, you may want to explain that to people that are misunderstanding you. I mean, if you care, if they understand you, I guess would be the thing. Okay, finally. And we have 2 cards. I really didn't want 2 cards, but the last one also got 2 cards. Oh, well. Here we go. Dream a Beautiful Dream, number 19. Yes, this goes exactly with the Page of Cups to me and the Page of Wands. It's kind of what I was trying to say before about how you had all these dreams that didn't exactly go the way that you hoped. And then you're willing, though, to start again. And like, is there almost like what is that? The Audacity of Hope? Is that a book? I haven't read it. And then we have In the World, Not of the World. Okay, you must have some kind of like Christian or evangelical background because, and also maybe love Jim Carrey because there have been a lot of references for both of those things. Okay, so let me tell you about these cards. Okay, I love these for you, pile 3. So Dream a Beautiful Dream. This is like, I almost wish I could sit here and read out of the book to you about these 2, but I think you would glaze over just with the focus thing we were getting before. But this card, to sum up, is saying, like, if you have a dream within you, you can do it. You can make a difference. If you're worried about whether you can actually make an impact to change an outcome, you can. This card is coming up to tell you, like, you think you don't have what it takes, you have what it takes. You should try. Next card, in the world, not of the world. So this one is interesting because it's I don't know, from the imagery and the in the world, not of the world, it doesn't, to me, seem to really express what it says in the book. What am I trying to say? This card is saying, like, you're more free than you believe yourself to be, and your soul wants to be more free than you think. So maybe there is a certain level of structure or efficiency that you've been imposing upon yourself, and it was like really important for you at a time, but it no longer applies. I do want to read just like one sentence to you from this section. So I think it's 3 sentences. So here we go. This oracle comes as a message to you. Sometimes we need our defenses, and at other times it's clear we're outgrowing them. There's something you've outgrown. It has to do with your ideas about productivity, time, control, and money. So I'll stop there. There's like a page and a half of this. If you're really, really, really interested, you could order the Sacred Revels Oracle. But I think the point of this for you, like, we're here talking about your spiritual gifts. Like, you are more free and more powerful than you imagine yourself to be. And there's some situation in your life right now that I think is really stressing you out. It could be anything. It could be work. It could be family. It could be a relationship. It could be your spiritual life, your body, who knows what. But whatever it is that's stressing you out, you're wondering if you have it in you, like if you have enough, if you can be enough. And maybe before everything fell apart for you, you had like your confidence was higher. And then you kind of maybe got taken down a peg or two to maybe to a place that was more, I don't know, let's say like accurate, or I don't want to say it like that. Hang on. What am I trying to say? I'm not saying you were taken down a peg or two and you should have been. That's not what I mean. It's that your confidence was so high it almost didn't serve you, but now it's swung the opposite direction where you deserve to have more confidence than you currently feel. And it's because the way you think of yourself is how you used to be. Like, you haven't upgraded your sense of self and your self-concept to who you actually are now after this experience. Okay, pile 3, did you follow me on that? Sorry, it took me a while to get that together. So, point of both of these cards, you can do it. You're shedding your skin. You're becoming somebody new. Withdraw and retreat as much as you need to. The people that are meant to be with you in the next chapter will understand it. Don't worry about it. All right, pile 3, that's your reading. Let me know what you thought. Leave me a like, comment, or subscribe. If you have a request for a particular topic, feel free to put it in the comments. I am feeling very suggestible right now, and I hope to see you in a future reading. Hey, pile 4, if you picked this earring, let's see what cards you have. We've got King of Swords, 2 of Swords in the reverse, Queen of Wands, and separate yourself today from any outlet where you can easily compare your life or success to that of others. So, this is bothering me that's on this table right here that I'm just noticing. Can we get rid of that? Oh yeah, we can. No, that was easy. Okay, pile 4, your spiritual gifts. You make things happen. The rules that apply to other people do not apply to you. You're the combination of the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. That means you have an ironclad brain. You're very smart. And you also know how to manifest, how to like bring things into existence, into fruition. I mean, look at her face here on this card. It's like she's just looking at her hand and poof, something's coming into existence. How amazing is that? With 2 of Swords in the reverse, you don't get caught up in overthinking and turning against yourself with like too much, what's that called? There's just not like the back and forth of like, oh, should I do it this way or that way, and getting all confused in your mind and all that. No, none of that. You know your own mind, you know what you want to do. I actually think that this particular reading, this pile is going to be like 4 minutes long because you're like on it, pile 4. Like you don't need to mess around. You know what needs to happen. You're clear. And the rules that apply to others, they just don't apply to you. And if anyone's ever accused you of being like arrogant or full of yourself or high and mighty or something for believing that, that's their problem, not your problem. So if you need a confirmation of that, it's true. Their problem, not your problem. It is actually the facts. The rules don't apply to you because you're an unusual person and you have a lot to offer that others don't. How it is a spiritual gift is that you're able to really like call into being things that others can't even imagine of. I really need an example of this. What would be a good example of this? So this is random, but I'm really drawn to the word outlet here on this card. Separate yourself today from any outlet. So is there one of you out there that has some kind of business idea related to an outlet, like some kind of outlet mall or a furniture outlet? Or I'm even thinking of one of those places where you go inside and there's like 20 or 30 or 40 different craft booths. Like every artisan has their own little corner that they rent and they sell like their handmade whatever, handmade furniture, handmade, I don't know, clothing. I'm not in this industry obviously, so I'm having trouble talking about it. But there must be one of you watching where that's been part of your dream scenario or something that you're actually doing. And Spirit's wanting to come through and tell you, yes, that is a spiritual gift. Like you calling that into being. And here's how it's spiritual. So particularly with that kind of work where it's like you're giving an outlet. Look, outlet, same word again. Literally an outlet for someone else's creativity. That is spiritual work because you're providing expression for someone else's creativity. Creativity to me is Wands energy. I was just talking about this in the last pile. Wands energy to me is spiritual energy. It's, you know, the inspiration of spirit moving through you. So you're literally like creating a platform where people can display their inspired works of art, their inspired works of spirit. So if others ever come down on you with criticism for doing that, you stay strong. You know the rules don't apply to you. You know that this idea and your business acumen is all God-given, and you keep doing what you're doing, Pile 4. Also, leave me a comment because that was kind of random and out there for me to bring through as a message, and I just want to know what person it was for. So when you hear this, please let me know. All right, now we're going to bring through a card for you from the Sacred Rebels Oracle for Pile 4. I also kind of feel like of all the earrings, of the 4 earrings, I think you picked this, like, it's no accident, Pile 4, because it's like the most interesting. Don't you feel like it's the most interesting? I do. Card for Pile 4 from the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I'm almost wondering if you're not going to get a card from this deck. I mean, we already know that you can't be compared to anyone else. I'm going to give it about 5 more seconds. Okay, and we've got nothing. So that is your reading, Pile 4. Wow, what a random reading. Please let me know what you thought. I'm so curious. And leave me a comment if you want to share anything about your experience, like or subscribe. If you have an idea of a reading that you'd like to see me do, please feel free to comment about that as well. I am very open to suggestion right now, as I'm just getting back into it after a long hiatus. And I will see you in the next reading. Thanks for coming by. Pile 5. Hey, girl, hey. We've got this earring. Let's see what you've got. We have 9 of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Fool. And then from the Enneagram cards, the next time you notice yourself reflecting on past regrets or areas for improvement, pause to remind yourself that you did your best in that moment. Yeah, wow. Do you see these? They look like the same girl to me. Do they to you? And also, you might be a girl because I said, hey, girl, hey, which I normally don't. Also, look, they have the same, like, crows, or maybe we would even say these are ravens. I don't know. I'm not actually sure what a raven looks like, to tell you the truth. What are your spiritual gifts? So moving from the Nine of Swords to the Six of Swords to the Fool. This is so powerful, and let me tell you why. So Nine of Swords is the nightmare card. It's anxiety, it's depression, it's insomnia, it's torture, like mental torture. Six of Swords is moving away from that. It's healing, it's rejuvenation, it's almost like cellular transformation is the way I want to say it. Like having a new body, having a new mind. And then the Fool, I mean, you see in this Fool card, look at what she's doing. She's just like free falling, trust falling back into this pool of, I don't know, ether. Who even knows what's going on here? She's got a crystal in one hand. Her eyes are closed. She has a staff. She's just like, you know what? I can't figure it out with my brain. I'm just going to let it all go. I'm going to free fall into the future and let whatever is going to happen, happen. So this is absolutely a spiritual gift, like to be able to surrender to this degree. And it is hard fought, pile 5. Look at this. It's not like you're just like, oh yeah, I'm flighty and I don't have a thing in my brain. I'm just going to do whatever it feels like I should do today and giggle and skip down the road and ah ha ha. And we'll just see what happens. And I obviously I'm not even doing a good job of like the caricature of that voice. But I feel like there's somebody in your past who maybe either accused you of being like that when you weren't like that, or just always warned you against being someone who was kind of flighty or ditzy or not thinking things through appropriately. And I think that contributed to this like overthinking and difficulty that you had mentally in the past. I think you came by some of that naturally as well, but definitely there was somebody in your past, whether it was a parent, a teacher, a sibling, a past partner, somebody who really like damaged your self-concept in that way. But you have transformed that. You have come out of that completely. If you have wondered if that is like a pattern you're going to go back to or struggle with again in the future, no, absolutely not. Like I'm here to tell you that chapter is closed. We have the 9 to the 6 to the Fool, which is the 0. 960. So if you take nothing else from this reading, if you want to shut it off now, fine. Your spiritual gift is you have conquered the need to be right, the need to be blameless, the need to be perfect, the need to avoid risk, avoid making mistakes. You're now in a state where you're willing to surrender, where you're willing to trust God to direct your life. And you know that the past does not define you. Just because you made an error or you did something that was self-destructive or harmful to yourself or others in the past, up to and including some kind of mistreatment or abuse, like if that happened to you, if you were the perpetuator of that, either way, that is not who you are anymore. It's not going to happen in your future. That chapter is closed, and that is a gift. And if you've seen any of the research about what happens to people that have experienced that one time, you know that that is a miracle, because typically if you've experienced it once, you experience it multiple times, and often you become a perpetrator in one way or another, and that is not your story, pile 5. I think you fought hard for it not to be your story. And what else can I say about that? Yeah, it's absolutely a grace to you from God, from whoever you pray to, that you are not on that path. You've been delivered from that experience in your future. And I think, well, I want to be careful here. I don't want to say there was anything good about those experiences, because no, they were absolutely destructive for you and for anybody else involved. But God is in the business of transforming all things, and that is being used for you to bring in a level of light and healing and transformation that otherwise would not have been possible. So while no one should have to go through any of those experiences, and it wasn't a good thing that you did, there is beauty coming from those ashes. I wouldn't be surprised if people in this pile are somehow like writing, speaking, or creating some kind of art that is inspired by those experiences, that is helping others to heal, helping others to make sense of where they've been through their experiences and their journey. And this is absolutely a gift because it's helping others transmute that pain, that darkness into something that can be positive, can be light. Okay, and this card, I think you've really mastered this as well. So like if maybe in the past you would really get down on yourself for things you've experienced in your life, now you know, like, no, I did my best with what I had in the moment, and anyone in my scenario with the same tools would have made similar choices. And you truly believe that, and you're right. So if you've ever felt like maybe you're just lying to yourself or gaslighting yourself about that, no, Spirit is wanting to tell you through this reading that it's true. It's true that you did your best, absolutely, with what was available to you. And let's see the card that you have. We have Spirals of Manifestation, number 18. So I love this card for you, pile 5, because it's all about like the process of growth, which is never linear. I mean, we even have this with the Fool card, don't we? Like there's this kind of in and out energy with what's in the water, and like there's this whirlpool. It also reminds me of the Enneagram, the Law of 7, which is the idea that, again, same idea, like growth is not linear. It's not a straight line. It's like it goes up and down. And so like if we have the Enneagram symbol here, the Law of 7 would say that this is how change happens from here to 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 here. So it's not like straight up, it's going all over the place. And there's something about your life and your path right now, especially, that is bringing this truth into your awareness that even the bad things that have happened to you in your life or that you yourself have done, like it's all been part of this bringing you to the right time and space, to the perfect moment for everything to click into place for you in your life. And that can't be controlled. It can't be rushed. There's no way to predict when it's going to happen. All you can do is surrender and trust that even if it, at the moment where you feel like you're furthest away from everything clicking into place, it's darkest before the dawn. Like that's when it's actually right around the corner. So I think the other part of this message for you, pile 5, is if there's a goal, a manifestation, a dream, a purpose in your life that you've been working very diligently towards, or even half diligently, let's be honest. Let's even go with half diligently, because we don't need to be perfectionists about it. If there's something you've been working towards, it is literally right around the corner. And when I say right around the corner, that's like, I don't know, in a crazy scenario, 6 months, but more like 1 month, 1 week, 1 hour while you're watching this video. Like it's here for you. And if you're feeling really dark about any of your goals right now, or just hopeless, or like it's never really going to come through, again, this message is coming through to you today to let you know, like it's here. Literally, it's here. There's nothing you can do to stop it now. You know, the other thing this reminds me of is the idea of ominous positivity. It's been going around the internet for a while, so feel free to, you know, look it up, TikTok it or whatever if you want to. But it's a bunch of sayings like, cheer up, nothing can stop the inevitable good that is coming your way. Or, it's all going to work out for you. It's too late to stop it now. You know, things like this where it's just really, it sounds terrible, but it's actually something positive. That's you, pile 5. And maybe that's even the kind of humor you would kind of like. I could see that with the 9 of Swords, 6 of Swords to the Fool here. But your spiritual gift is you've been through it all. You have the scars to prove it. You can help others learn how to heal. And everything is about to just totally transform for you in the most beautiful way. I'm so happy for you, Pile 5. Please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear your story. Please come back here when whatever this spiral manifestation thing is, whenever that like comes into fruition, come tell us all about it. I want to know about that. And leave me a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if there's a particular topic you'd like to see me read on. I'm feeling very open to suggestion at the moment since I'm just getting back into doing readings. So feel free to suggest something. And thank you so much for coming by. I hope to see you next time.